My name's Chad Sanders. We're in the Memory and Aging Lab here at WSU. So the lab is all about memory and aging and neuropsychology, which is really the brain-behavior relationship. And so we do a lot of cognitive testing, and the lab has really expanded over the years, so there's a lot of different projects going on. I've lived in Washington State all my life. It's always been kind of small town living. I always knew I wanted to go into clinical work. When I was really young, it was more wanting to go into therapy. What actually kind of spurred me into this is Star Wars, which is a strange thing. I've been an avid gamer all my life, and Star Wars, there's this classic neuropsych test called the Tower of London. You have these 3 pegs and a group of discs, and it's a planning, executive functioning task. And you ask someone, you show them a kind of a final set where they have to have the discs like all move to the other side, and they have to get there on their own. There's certain rules they have to follow. And the exact paradigm is in Knights of the Republic, and that was one of my favorite parts of that game. And so I started noticing this pattern of executive functioning stuff, and that's kind of what video games are. And then more and more being in the lab and seeing this blend of clinical work in the room with the person, talking with them about daily functioning, memory, cognitive decline. Because it's a struggle for a lot of people with aging issues. So like when people would come in with dementia, for example, and their partners are with them, a lot of times it'd be a really emotional thing. That together really sucked me in, I think. And then as I moved forward with my career and started doing therapy, being able to, from a therapeutic point of view, incorporate the brain, the neuropsych into it, I love it. It's a perfect blend. I'm starting my 2nd year of a neuropsych postdoc, and I also run our kind of neuropsych ADHD clinic where we do screenings, assessment, referral, that kind of stuff. So for this task, you're going to want to move this set of discs to this peg, but you have to follow a couple rules as you're doing it. You can only move 1 disc at a time, and you can never have any disc that's bigger on top of any disc that's smaller. So moving 1 disc at a time, your job is to get these 5 discs stacked just like this onto this peg with as few moves as possible. Go ahead.
Okay.
In the lab, we just finished up submitting a paper on MCI and comparing these 2 planning tasks, which is that real-world kind of setup with a standard kind of laboratory task. You're on the right track with this. Do you want to hint?
Sure.
So this won't make this move in 1 jump. This goes here first, if that helps. And then the next phase, too, with MCI is looking at Parkinson's disease potentially with it, too. Some of the specific goals I've had have been from the neuropsych point of view. If you look at someone's scores and where they're at, how best to fit intervention, recommendations, things to their life, to kind of have the best way to help people stay independent versus the one-size-fits-all thing, which for some people isn't helpful because they're not at that level. You can kind of frame most any context around cognition. So in therapy, it's really helpful. In life, things like understanding how diet might affect thinking skills, understanding why sleep is important, and it's fun. I mean, it's fun to be, thinking about what you're thinking about and honing your chops with kind of thinking skills, that kind of stuff.